And he was like, oh no, it was like there was a huge problem. I totally wasn't doing it because I was pissed off at some other Democrat.
He's so deep in shit, it's not even funny.
Speaking of Chris Christie, welcome to the Brooks and Zach 100 Years podcast. I'm Brooks.
And in this corner we have Liam.
Well, that's Zach who just said that, and then there's Liam over there, and then we have Josh over there. We have been lost in these woods for a few weeks now.
I have my few shticks.
Your shtick is just silently staring. That's it.
Like, that doesn't work for, like, an audio thing. Just
Yeah.
like... Actually, wait a minute. Yes, it does. Never mind. Continue.
It's silence.
Silence can be very powerful.
Yeah.
If used correctly, Zach.
Oh.
Why are we still in
This
the
is
woods,
me
Brooks?
throwing my ass.
Well,
Throwing my panties.
because two things. One, I don't know how to read the maps. Two, I have lost the maps. So those two things
Could
combined
have just
kind
said the
of...
second one, but saying that you couldn't.
I
read
lost
the
the
maps.
maps,
Made yourself seem dumb, like even more dumb. But
Look, I thought I could follow
Just
the maps
incriminating
backwards.
yeah,
Look, after the whole thing with that fucking house or whatever, like, we've just been, like, probably circling in the woods.
Probably.
So, yeah. So we really don't have anything else to do but, just sit around this campfire and
probably
talk.
got to stop leading us around, Brooks.
Okay, fine. Does someone else want to lead the little caravan?
You know what? After we're done recording, I'll lead the caravan.
Okay, thank you.
We're gonna die in here.
We
We're all
are.
gonna die.
Yeah.
I miss my oasis.
Yeah, why did we leave that again?
We have to find Matt.
Oh, why can't Matt find us?
Because
That's a great question. Wait, did you have like radio at your oasis?
Of course. And TV and movies.
Yeah, and there was a
And
Radio
Oasis.
Shack, guys.
There's a Radio Shack. It's
It's really
the
cool.
Oasis is where all
Did
good
one
things
of your
go to
neighbors
die.
work at the Radio Shack?
All of my neighbors worked at the Radio Shack.
The Radio Shack keeps the Oasis alive.
Well, I was
that was
there.
the only business there.
While I was there before you guys
Like,
came, I had to work at the Radio Shack. Dude, I was employee of the month for quite a while. It was pretty great. I mean, to be fair, I think I was the only employee.
No.
You could just come in occasionally and just buy, like, USB cables.
No, those are my
But then I
neighbors.
walked to your house one day, and then there's just this pile of USB cables, and you're lighting them on fire.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, in order to bring up your spirits...
Oh. Wow, we've hit a new low.
No, we hit that low before.
Oh, yeah.
We've hit lower.
I
We've
hope that picked up.
we've hit lower. Zach said the N-word before. We've
No,
hit
but
lower.
Do you remember that time when I farted really loudly next to the mic?
Yeah, you
It
did.
was in the bathroom.
Okay, breaking the fourth wall, though. I remember that because that was like the first episode that we started doing like story stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mainly because we were both getting kind of bored with the format of the show.
Yeah, because someone wanted to do a copy of the Weekly Planet.
Look,
folks.
it's what you gotta start somewhere, So we started
Behind
doing
the finish
rip-off.
line.
Yeah.
We weren't even at the race.
As I was saying, in order to lift our spirits, we are now starting our Halloween month of October.
Ooh.
There's some spooky, scary skeletons playing right
I'm
now.
a ghost.
We did this last year, right?
I think we did something like it.
Yeah, there was just a bunch
Didn't
of
you talk
sound
about, like,
effects.
Last year we did like a Halloween episode where we talked about like scary stuff, but we haven't done a full themed month before, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that now. The way this works is that each person has a different episode they're sort of in charge of coming up with the stuff for.
Spoilers.
Well, like I won't say what it is.
Spoilers.
No, all right.
Spoilers.
All right.
Spoilers. Zach dies.
We planned this out. We didn't need to tell them.
Wait, why did you know about this?
What? Who do you think came up with the idea?
Oh.
I need
He's been
His
trying
mom.
to weasel his way out of the show for years.
Death is the only escape at this point. And not even. Yaskovich just died a lot of times.
Yeah.
He keeps coming back.
Dude, hell is pretty fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's pretty sweet.
Technically, he's only died once. We just thought he died those other times.
Ah, you're right.
See, the bear attack, he didn't actually die. And
No,
then-
I was inside that bear for quite a while.
But you didn't die, and then you were inside the
Yeah,
whale.
it was kind of like that.
You were inside the whale, which happened to be Chris Christie, and that was when we thought you died.
Yeah.
And you were gone for like a month. But then you came back.
Do you
Then
get
I
the
actually
pop
died.
political jokes they're making?
He knows who Chris Christie is.
Yeah.
You didn't.
It's
know who
almost
Chris
as if
Christie was.
this episode opened up with a discussion of Chris Christie between the two of them.
Whose name is the same name twice.
that fat asses. I can say that
though, I
because
love that.
I'm fat.
He's also a bad person, so you can call him whatever you
Yeah,
want.
he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
really anyone who supports
This is a great
Trump.
campfire story to start with, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually like supports Trump. He just sits behind him like awkwardly,
Yeah.
like
Well, because he did that because he was like, oh, he's gonna give me the VP pick, right? I'm gonna be the VP, right?
womp womp.
Yeah. Oh, he totally got fucked over.
Fucking Pence.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The United States is crazy right now. It's really fun.
I don't think it is.
Are we even in
I'm
the
having
United
fun.
States anymore? Like, where are we?
Well,
In the
like,
woods?
within the world of the podcast, it's probably not the United States
Okay.
anymore. It's probably
Oh.
some weird amalgamation. Of
Oh,
a
that's
bunch
right.
of stuff.
Because our thing was
It's probably
like,
Finland mixed with Australia.
right where Maryland's here. There's
Australia?
Crimeopolis, which is like the island from Superman Returns. It just
It's
came
its-
out of the
It's
ocean.
its own continent.
Yeah,
Australia,
yeah.
Fin Zealand.
So we're
Australia.
technically a part of the
See,
U.S.
we got the real world
Australia.
and then the podcast world, and like our only way we know about the real world things, like the podcast, is like because it bleeds into
What?
the podcast
Yeah.
world.
Oh, you know what else has a house?
Wow, we're
God,
so
Cinderella.
creative.
You're not doing the house thing again.
House thing was
Oh,
last
damn
week.
it. I had a whole thing planned and I fucking forgot about it because I slept in today.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
What was the thing you had planned?
It was gonna be
Was it another visual bit?
Yeah, it was. And it was gonna be so great. Fuck, I'll do it next week.
I think we'll ease into the campfire stories. We won't just open up with them, so we'll just
Damn
start
it.
talking about Halloween. So, general thoughts on Halloween. What do you guys think?
It was.
I'm doing the music.
See, he's doing it. He's doing it great.
But
He's
I
doing
thought-
it.
I
Keep
thought-
going.
I
Keep
thought
going.
you
Keep
always
going.
say you
Keep
can-
going.
I'll
Keep
be
going.
the tambourine.
But you
Yeah,
say you can always
yeah,
put in the music later.
Yeah. You see, this is great because it's not copyrighted.
I'm gonna die.
This is my tambourine impression. There we go, I'm done.
Anyway, we can just go around with general thoughts on Halloween. I'll start off. I love Halloween. I think it's a great holiday. Even after you stop trick or treating, the thing I like about Halloween is like the mood, the atmosphere of it. I guess just the general. You know how like Christmas like time feels Christmassy.
No, not since I started working in retail.
Josh, you know how Christmas time feels like Christmassy and all
Every
that stuff.
holiday for me is just a faded memory. I just the
Liam,
meaning
you know
was-
how
Yes,
Christmas.
yes,
yeah,
I do, because
yeah.
I do not have a sad, horrible, horrible life.
Yeah, so I feel like Halloween is the same. It's the
Classic
same
Liam.
sort of
I'll
way.
go
Those
fuck
jokes.
myself.
like all the way through like October. Like I feel like it has that general like vibe to it, and
Yeah.
everyone does like Halloween themed
Just
stuff,
a
and it's just
skeleton.
cool.
Doing
Yeah.
the skeleton thing.
Spooky, scary
That's a good one, Josh.
Is that copyrighted?
What's your thoughts on
I
Halloween?
don't think so.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, it was, one of the things that I used to do on Halloween all the time, like, not just trick or treat as a kid, but I would watch AMC's like horror lineup.
Liam, don't do it.
No.
I heard
that's-
turbulence.
Talk about horror.
Cut that, please.
No.
That was
What, the fart or his dumb joke?
his dumb joke.
Oh!
I mean, it's,
He's talk about horror.
Wow, what a sick burn.
Get it? Fart jokes are better than your jokes, bros.
It wasn't a fart joke. It was just a fart.
Exactly. It wasn't even a joke.
The
Jokes-
audible noise.
Jokes aren't the best part of comedy. Farts are.
It's okay. Daddy still loves you.
I think the best part about this is like Brooks is like, yeah, come on guys, we can start a whole Halloween thing while we're in the woods here, right?
He's so sad. He just wants to
I've
talk
had a
about
really
Halloween.
bad week.
He just wants to talk
Like-
about Halloween.
come on.
Like, I'm not even joking about that. I feel
Oh,
like this
talk
week's
about
been
it.
shitty.
Let's talk about it, Brooks.
No, I don't want to.
I do.
Liam's just picking the scab. He's like, I wonder what's under here.
Probably.
Brooks.
Oh.
Silence is powerful.
No, I thought you were trying to do another fart.
No, I don't know what happened. I kind of just stopped.
Okay.
So-
I
Much
may
like
not
this
know where I
podcast.
am.
So, anyways.
Anyways, what you were saying
So,
about Halloween.
other than trick or treating, like, I would just sit inside for the entire month of October, and I would watch AMC's lineup, and they would show all these horror movies. Like during the day, they'd show like the old classic ones from like the 30s, and they're like, oh, it was spooky then, and they would slowly, like, gradually get like, through the years and darker. Like it would go through like the 40s and 30s, then go to like the 70s and 80s, and then modern, and it was a good time. And then I, stopped trick or treating because I grew up. I realized I didn't have any friends, and eating candy alone just made
You had
me
to grow
fatter.
up to figure that out.
Shut up!
No.
Shut up, my doctor!
So something that's kind of like that about how Halloween used to be good was unrelated. I was in the Boy Scouts before because my dad wanted me to do it because he thought I was gay
hold
and he
on.
thought that would fix it.
That will not fix it. But hold on,
Yeah,
Kind of the opposite.
I know.
Let me preface this. Then AMC fucked up, and then they made their horror thing only a week long. You fucking bastards! You got to do it the whole month, not just the fucking week. Anyways, continue.
And
we just
we
ran out
entered
of
a
movies.
Shut up! You shut your mouth.
So then we entered a pumpkin carving competition and everything like that, and I was like, yeah, I can just make. I just made the most generic looking pumpkin carving face.
My
in the
favorite
Yeah.
thing to do.
Was
Yeah.
it a dick? Did you just make?
No, it was just like the two like slanted eyes.
Yeah,
and,
like the face,
angry
like
mouth.
the-
And then it
Put it
became
as
a
one of the
dick.
thumbnail 3 images or whatever. And
Yeah.
that was the pumpkin face. I was like, yeah, and my dad's like, hold on, we can get a 1-up on this competition.
Is that what your dad sounds like?
Yeah, when he's trying
Was
to
he
sound sly
drunk?
and coy. No, that's just his.
When he's trying to be mysterious.
Yeah, he's like, here's what we're gonna do. And then he opens the lid,
Turns
and
into
I'm like,
Stamper.
Dad, I just gotta put a candle inside, and then we're set. We got our pumpkin for the competition. He's like, no. And he breaks a glow stick, and he shakes it, he's like, here we go. And it's like a very faint green glow that
Oh.
hardly illuminates the pumpkin. He's like, perfect.
Was this like during the day?
No, it was like a night. Well, we made it during the day, but then we take it to
Did he
like...
put it the close stick during the
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
And just let it
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
there? Are you
He's
serious?
exactly what happened.
By nightfall, this will be very
No.
bright and
See,
illuminating.
it wasn't even bright, but like it slowly dimmed throughout the day because that's
Yeah,
what glow
because,
sticks
yeah.
do. And then we took it to the thing, and I've got like this very faintly dim, glowing green pumpkin, and like this one guy who was like probably 30 something carved an elaborate mural under the pumpkin, and he only got like 3rd place because like this is a competition for kids. Why are you here? Man?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
My dad did the same thing.
So that was Zach's thoughts on Halloween. Liam, what's your?
My thoughts on Halloween. I really enjoy how Halloween was like candy and spooky stuff up until the age of 17, and then it turned into boobs and beer and
It has
more spooky
always
stuff.
been that. It is.
Yeah, but no, for me personally.
Ever
Oh,
since,
yeah, yeah.
ever
You know what I
since
you
the
didn't
pagan,
realize it until you
Yeah.
got older.
But
ever
then
since
like
the pagan traditions of old, it's
Yeah.
always been about
Boobs and beer!
sexy nurses and sexy,
Duff, boobs and
sexy
I went
construction
to a
workers.
Halloween party last year, and my
Yeah.
girlfriend actually told me, "Whatever you do, don't look at other women." And I'm like, "Come on."
Oh, damn.
Do you understand the costumes I'm gonna see there? There was some fun ones.
So
There
you
was some
looked at
fun
other
ones.
women, is what you're saying?
Yes.
What was the? What was the?
She looks at other women more than I do.
That's bullshit. She's looking at the same people.
She wasn't
They're
serious.
there.
She wasn't serious.
Okay.
That's
She's not
that's
that
another
crazy.
thing I wanted to talk about, like Halloween
crazy.
costumes and stuff like that. What are some of the most ridiculous Halloween costumes that like you've seen? And
Last year, there were like on Facebook and at the party I was at, there was like I at least counted like 7 or 8 girls in total that were that I forgot her name, but like
Where's she
the,
from?
the fucking
Oh, okay.
Oh,
you can do it. Yeah.
Oh, Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, there was like it was a bunch of chicks that did her.
Of course
I don't
you
understand
know
why.
that.
Yeah, I was about to
Name?
say, but I was like, if
Fucking-
I say it, then I'm gonna get in trouble because
Why would you get in trouble?
You
Yeah.
say something
we
wildly
would,
offensive.
we would
get a
be
point.
very impressed if you
Yeah,
knew
you're just
that.
like, oh, it's like
You
a-
say like,
it's like
oh,
a
like the bitch
feminist thing.
slutting
Yeah.
the bandana.
We're really happy
You would get points back for previous things you've said in the past.
Nah, I'm gonna keep going low.
Hey man, if you can't be the best, you can most
Low road
certainly be
has
the
no
worst.
exit.
Yeah, I'll be the worst. It'll be easier. Where my brain's at.
So anyways, sexy women on Halloween. Are you farting again?
No, I'm trying to think of worst costumes I've seen.
Well, the thing is with me, like, I mean, I wouldn't use the words like it's ruined it, but like, I don't know, things like MagFest and like Comic Con, like it's.
I've seen
it's
way too many
dulled-
Harley Quinns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seeing
it's-
like
it's
stuff at the
dull,
conventions
like-
makes you go, oh.
Yeah,
Halloween.
it's dulled my senses on like wow costumes. It's like oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's like oh cool.
Yeah, when you see the guy who spent like $1,000 on building like a replica mech suit around
Yeah, yeah.
himself.
But even
I'm
then,
like,
it's
what
like
do you do all day?
I
I
want-
this.
I want something original, not just like
really don't care.
the same girls over and over doing like stuff
Yeah.
from comic books,
Yeah.
or the same guys being the Joker. Also, have you seen the Jared Leto Joker stuff they're selling online?
What
Oh,
are they
it's
selling?
awful.
It is hilarious.
What are they
I'm
selling?
looking at it
Like
right
just
now.
like the costume stuff, but like he has like this jacket where the collar goes like over the head, like some fake
Yeah, it's pretty
Dracula,
bad.
and all the guys
Halloween-
are wearing fake like grills, but it looks like they have balls in their mouth. It's like it's great.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Halloween costumes have always been kind of shitty because they're always like most people just go for like the easy like store bought stuff where like they know that they don't have to try. They just have to
Yeah.
make things like look kind of like them.
Fuck you. My Batman costume last year was money.
Is that just the one Batman mask you have? Okay.
No, there was makeup too. I covered myself in black paint.
Like
Ah, you
He went almost blackface.
It was like the eyes.
I've worked at a
on,
retail store that had like a Halloween season that sold like really shitty costumes and
While
stuff like
while
that.
you're both looking up
And-
pictures, did anybody else have? Did your parents always monitor what candy you got when you were younger?
Never.
No,
There-
what would happen was
There was never rules
They-
in my house.
They
That's
just
why I'm like this.
so like what would happen? It wouldn't be like a monitoring thing. It would be like a sort of like dividing thing because there would be like
Is that the Joker? That's a thumbnail. That's a thumbnail.
oh god.
I typed
With the
in.
tattoo of the jack-o'-lantern on his chest.
I typed in.
Oh, that's a lot
Jared,
of work though.
Is it?
I typed in Jared Leto Joker costume, and that's what came up. So, there you go.
But yeah, like at my house, like we would like me and my sisters would go around, and then everyone liked different candy. So basically, we all dumped the candy
Oh,
and
no, that's
split
the
it
trading
up
bit.
accordingly.
No, that's the no. Like what my
Like we're just like, okay, Dad likes this, like Brooks likes this
no,
stuff.
that's trading. What I'm talking about is because my dad believes in the very worst of humanity. He's like, yeah, they probably poisoned half this candy. We gotta check. He would squeeze individual candy things, like, and if the air wasn't sealed in, he's like, all right, they probably stuck a needle in it and injected poison into it.
Which
throwing
has
that candy
never
away.
happened in the history
No,
of
he's like,
ever.
because
yeah. There's actually no recorded instance
Yeah.
of that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my dad is a paranoid motherfucker.
Your dad is a crazy man.
He is. I'm very aware. He's like, oh, don't get any apples because they have razors in it, Dad. But nobody has any apples.
No one would take apples from someone
Yeah,
on
it's like-
Halloween. They'd be like,
but-
"Fuck you."
Where's my Snickers bar?
You fucking
There was the one
asshole.
house that had like the full-sized king, like Milky Ways or whatever.
Yeah, every neighborhood has that
No,
house.
it had a tear in it. So my dad's like, mm-mm. I'm like, what?
Not
Fuck
today.
Come on, that was the one I was
Well,
looking forward
like I
to.
was saying, I've worked in a place that sold like shitty Halloween costumes, and the funny thing is, you have the branded costumes that are just like the characters, but then you have ones that are like off-brand, so they're like
Yeah.
you clearly because people have to know like because they want to dress up as the character, so you have to know on site that's
yeah,
the character.
you have Hulk,
but they
and then you
can't
have
call
Green Angry Muscle.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on Twitter that was great. It's just like, oh, my favorite pair of TV characters, which was like the dad and the mom from the Addams Family, but on the costumes it said creepy husband and Mrs. Undertaker. It was funny. Recently, I was like at a thing and I saw.
Fucking Nicole had. I have a picture of me as Batman with Nicole, and she was the chick I was just the You Can Do It chick I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the Batman costume. That's fucking fantastic.
I want to see it.
I was in a short sleeve shirt, a children's Batman vest, and black pants.
Jesus
Nice.
Christ, you went all out.
All out, but,
it's
you know, with the
it's
minimal
Batman Year One is what you did.
Yeah.
And I just ran around talking like this the entire time.
So you
and
sound
hitting
like yourself.
people.
You sound
Yeah,
like yourself.
yes.
Just you angry.
It was funny. Fairly recently, actually, I was like in a store. I was looking at the Halloween costumes, and there was like a kid one for Black Panther because of like Civil War and everything. And like as I looked at it,
That's racist.
I looked at no, it's
That's
funny.
racist.
It's funny. I looked at it. And I just imagined the scene in my head of like this like white family who like they'd seen Civil War, and the kid like the little boy like goes up and he's like, Dad, I want to be Black Panther, and the dad's just like, I don't know about that. And like there's like an African American family like right by them like looking at them. He's like, son, put them out. And it's funny because as I was imagining it, I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, the kid in the picture is white. You could tell from the hands and the neck and stuff that the kid wearing the costume, the Black Panther costume, was white in the picture. So, does anyone have any like interesting or funny Halloween stories from the past?
Is that what you're looking up right now?
No, I was like, I'm just on.
Oh, I
have a list of topics.
I was a ninja 4 years in a row when I was a kid.
Yeah, how
I like
much
the
did you
same
get beat
costume.
up?
Continuing with the
It's less
my dad's-
than half. Yeah.
Continuing with the fact that my dad's a crazy man, he decided to take a chainsaw one year, take off the chains off of it, and when people would come to the door, he would rev up the chainsaw and chase kids down. And like, because if you touch the
Nothing
chainsaw,
happens.
yeah, nothing happens, but they pissed their pants.
Um,
One kid actually cried and pissed his pants and stayed laying in our
Was this
driveway.
you? Was it you?
I had
It wasn't. I was
Was
just
it
like,
Spencer?
we didn't know who the kid was. He was just from another neighborhood.
Oh
We
my
scared a
God.
kid to death almost.
Jesus.
I went to a haunted house, and the same thing. Like, me and Caitlin, we've been in theater. So we felt bad going through the haunted house and not being scared,
Yeah.
but we like appreciated the makeup and like what they were trying to do. So we would be like, like we faked our scared, but we didn't want to be
Over the top.
patronizing, so we'd be like, "Ooh, oh!"
That's patronizing. That's very patronizing.
But we didn't
Isn't it
know what to
patronizing?
do.
You just go. Oh,
I think it
oh.
can be pronounced either way. Or we're just wrong.
Yeah,
Either one
who gives a
works.
shit?
It's both.
Yeah.
Hang
It's
on.
tomato or tomato.
But at the end of the thing, some dude did the same thing with a chainsaw. Except I didn't see when I was walking in. I didn't see him actually touch people. I thought he actually had a chainsaw and he was just like revving it in the air.
Yeah.
So I expected it, but he touched me with it. He touched the back of my leg. So I screamed, "What the fuck?"
Oh shit!
Like I stopped myself before I was like getting ready to hit him, but I was like so close to just punching this dude in the face.
No, I'm not cut. All right, it's fine. We're fine.
He was like, "What the fuck?"
Ah! Ah! Okay.
Yeah, like it's more like an angry scream, like ah!
You got me.
You
You did it!
White knuckle, just like, ooh, ooh, you got
You're
me.
so fucking scary, brother. Ah!
Anyway, so since we've run out of Halloween stuff while sitting around this
Really playing
campfire,
out on this
Hold
one.
on, I can come up with more.
Silence is power.
No, shut up. I'm
Oh,
actually,
I'm waiting for him to fart.
no. I'm actually thinking.
keep the fart away from the fire.
The scariest thing that's happened to any of us, I think, would be a good one, whether it's Halloween related or not.
Okay, that works.
For me, it was my house burning.
Classic Liam, he just makes it about himself all the time.
No, but I once. No, that's not that good.
There was one time at my cousin's house. Everybody, it was during Halloween. You know that whole Bloody Mary thing, like you have to say it.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
So I was 5.
I wouldn't look at mirrors for like the first 5 years of my life
Yeah.
because of that shit.
Yeah, no, I was. They traumatized me. They got me good. Oh, okay, good on them. So what they did was they were both probably 17 and 18 at the time, and I was 5. And I go, oh, come on, let's do the Bloody Mary thing. I'm like, okay, what do we do? In the bathroom, you gotta say it in the mirror, and then, like, they flipped the circuit breaker or something, and so it was completely dark, and then they locked me in the bathroom so I couldn't do anything about it. Little did I know, the second cousin was also hiding in the bathtub at the time. So, then it comes out, it just starts shaking me in the dark. I'm like, ah! And then, yeah, I cried for the rest of the night.
And for the rest of my life.
Okay. Anyway, so then I'll tell a real story that happened then. A real
like-
story.
Okay,
Real-
yeah, let's just make up some, have some creepy stories.
What do you mean making up?
He said real.
Or whatever, I don't know.
So my dad,
Yeah, you go first.
he used to work as a security guard for the mental institution down in, just bleep it. And,
That sounds amazing.
he, well, there's other stories that, like, aren't as scary because there was just, like, a bunch of, big, what was it, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the big,
Oh,
Indian
big
guy?
Indian, yeah.
Yeah. There was
Chief?
there was a guy like that there. Except he was like, I'm Mr. Mike. And it's like, hey Hector, how's it going? He's like, I want to impress the nurse over there. He's like, well, alright, you just gotta go talk to her. And that's all my dad said. And then later that day, he finds out that Hector picked up a filled vending machine full of soda, which you can imagine how much that weighs, bear hugged it, and just threw it. And my dad, after seeing what has happened, he just goes, yeah, bud, you're in trouble for this. I'm sorry. Like, he's talking to this guy who's like 6 foot something, and my dad's looking up to him. He's like, Hector, come on. He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Mike. He's like, you gotta go back to your room, bud. And then he left, and my dad's like, holy shit, he could have crushed me with his hand.
Just
I thought you were literally just going to tell the entire story of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
No, but that's what
Yeah,
happened.
that's one time I got convicted for murdering someone and I plead insane.
No, but anyway, it was like a late night shift kind of thing for him, and he was just talking to all of his cop buddies and everything, and he sets down his hot coffee, and he goes to pick it up again, and he's like, "What? There's like ice crystals in here." All right, who's messing with me? He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, no, it was hot coffee a second ago. Why is it?" No, fine, fuck you guys. It doesn't matter. He said he like went to look in a mirror or something like that, and his eyes played tricks. And I was like, "Yeah, I thought I saw a ghost, whatever. You know, maybe there's." I never wanted to work there again. I was convinced there is it's a haunted mental institution. You know that never goes over well.
No, it doesn't.
Probably
I've
not.
seen Ghost Adventures, and no, they're totally not fake evidence.
All right, 1 knock for 1 person, 2 knocks for 2 people.
Dude, I used to watch that shit all the time, and I was like, oh my god, is this it? Do we finally have evidence of ghosts? And then it came out, they're like, oh, well, we kind of faked some of it. But there is some real stuff. And then they're like, no, we faked all of it.
classic Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Adventures.
Oh.
Was different. That was the kid Zach Baines or something. His hair was all spiked up.
Yeah, my family watched a lot of shows like that.
Yeah, it was
I
on
watched
the
American
Travel Network.
Yeah.
My brother did, and
I loved that shit.
he was really into it, and I'm like, are you dumb?
Dude, I would watch that shit with like the lights off, and I'm like, oh my god, Ghost of Wheeler. And then like I was like, oh.
No, when I was like 12, I was sleeping at my aunt's house on
Does
the
this
couch.
end with you being molested?
No.
Okay.
Why is that a theme?
I don't know.
I was sleeping on the
theme
couch.
of this episode isn't horror; it's horrible.
That was
You like
that was horrible.
You like that?
Cut
Paul?
that too.
Jesus.
Can't tell me what to do.
Anyway, I was on the couch sleeping, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up, and I did one of those like stretch and open, and then close your eyes again. And as I was stretching and opening my eyes, I shit you not, and I was obviously an illusion or something. I saw like the ring girl hand come up over the couch like this,
Oh yeah.
like grab the arm of the chair. And then I opened my eyes again, and it was gone. And me being 12 years old, like, pillowed my pants a little bit. It's like, seeing that
Yeah,
kind of
dude.
shit in broad daylight,
your
awful.
your
You
mind,
just go-
dude. Yeah, your mind's like waking up during REM sleep. Is
Yeah.
what that is. Dude. I've told you guys like, and
But
oh,
I
this
didn't
is actually,
I didn't understand that.
yeah, this is actually horrifying, and I've told it on the podcast before, but I've never told Liam.
All right, go ahead.
I have sleep paralysis.
Do you?
Almost every fucking night. It's horrifying.
That's awful.
It is. One of the times where it was really fucking scary is like I was laying in bed. And I was like, this is back when I totally believed that alien abduction was real and it was going to happen to me at some point. And I was just waiting, fingers
Last night?
crossed. Yeah, it was last night. I was like laying in
It's a
bed.
black mold, actually.
Yeah, and I saw this I saw this alien like at the end of my bed, like the huge eyes and everything, and he was staring me down. And I was like, holy fuck, this is it. I'm either A, going to never return, which at this point in my life wouldn't have been bad, or I'm gonna have this crazy trip that no one will believe. So whatever.
Do you listen to the band Tool?
No, but let me finish.
Okay.
And so then, like, what it does is it does this thing where, like, it steps backwards, but, like, the way it looked like, it was as if my room was, like, a 2D image, and it just melted into this, like, 2D image and just disappeared. I was like, holy fuck, that was really crazy. Wow, there's an alien, and he left. Was I already abducted? And then I started, like, thinking to myself, like, why did that alien look so familiar? It was literally one of the fucking aliens from the bar scene in Star Wars. I will show you the exact one it was. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, that's what sleep paralysis is. I fucked up.
But yeah, Tool has this song called Rosetta Stoned about a guy that's doing an acid trip around Area 51, and then he actually gets abducted by aliens, but nobody believes him because he was high on acid.
Oh.
It's
That
it's
sounds
a
like-
really funny
that sounds
song.
like something would happen to me.
It's like 10 minutes long. It's good though.
That's great. I like your like thing with the asylum. Like that's a real thing. Like, cause your dad worked there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fake thing and a real thing skin.
I'm confused.
No.
Was it or was it not?
No, it was an actual real thing. My
Yeah,
dad tells
yeah.
me that story, and I'm just like,
Oh.
really? He's like, yeah. I mean, I don't believe in ghosts, but that I don't know how somebody could have joked with me like that to just instantly make this hot cup of coffee have ice crystals in it, and then I see like crystal clear blue eyes in a mirror, and look behind me and go,
It was this one. Not to interrupt you, but it was that alien at the end of my
That's
bed.
amazing.
And it was
It's the one with the yellow eyes.
yeah,
and the,
it was ironic because of where my bed was at. This is all I could see, and I was like, oh, it makes perfect sense because that's all you see in the movie, so that's all my brain could fucking generate for it.
Right.
God, I
right.
fucking hate my life. I want aliens to actually take me away, and then I'll never return.
Are there a lot of like local like alien abductions?
Yeah, there is. I
I
actually
imagine you've looked into this already.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any.
dude, I love alien abductions. Totally.
Yeah, let's
fake,
hear about
but-
that. Like, let's like start getting the conversation over to like local like urban
There's-
legends.
there's a
'Cause I'm
book-
looking up like because we're all from Maryland.
Yeah.
I'm looking up like
There's a book that my mom has, and I'm sure everyone's seen it at a Borders. It's called Weird Maryland.
Yeah.
And it has like all the stories of like, oh, here's a haunted house and here's alien abduction. There's a lot of I've done a lot of research into each state and their alien abduction / UFO cases. With Maryland, there's more UFO cases and third close encounters, like where it's like I wasn't abducted, but like I saw them and they looked at me and it was weird. There's only one, and it happened in the 80s, and there was this lawyer who lived in Washington, and he was driving through some rural part of Maryland, which is almost all of it.
Yeah.
And like it's like typical of every case. He's driving down the highway late at night. He fucking saw a light, got abducted by aliens, woke up in his car with his pants off, and then he just.
I think he just got raped.
I think he just got really drunk, fucked a hooker, and wanted to make up a story on why he was late.
Yeah, he was a lawyer. Yeah, he was a lawyer.
He
So
was like, "Look, sweetie, I was abducted by aliens.
I
All this
swear-
glitter on my chest, alien glitter."
alien glitter. Like that's a fucking thing.
From space.
Ooh, space.
Boobly-doop.
These are like
And they-
stardust.
And the reason my asshole hurts is because they anal probed me, not anything else.
I'm not into pagan.
You really like your
Wink,
alien
wink.
abduction
I
stuff.
do, because it's weird. It's like,
Yeah.
because it do.
Almost alien.
Cut that too. What's wrong with you
All
three?
of this is staying in, by the way.
No, let me explain why I think it's interesting. Because no matter what the true answer is, I mean, for me, I believe almost every case can be explained away by either they're lying or it's like an actual phenomenon and it was like mistaken. Either answer is like bizarre. If it is alien abduction, like aliens actually exist and they're taking people, holy fucking shit. If it's just sleep paralysis, which is something we don't know a whole lot, because like there's actually a whole lot in the brain we don't know why it happens or when it does. Like,
I was reading about it. It's actually assumed that sleep paralysis happens to everyone at least
yeah,
once in their life.
yeah. They believe like it's like, is it because of diet? Is it because of stress or whatever? And the one thing,
because of black mold.
yeah, and the one thing that's like interesting is like, well, whatever it is, everyone in the world experiences this, and everyone for some reason creates aliens in their head for some reason. Like there's even cultures of people who have no idea what a gray is, but like they will still come up with the image of like, yeah, it was like this small gray man with like big eyes. They took me into a ship, and there was like a bigger one.
Yeah.
And like, I think it mainly deals with like psychology, and a lot of people say like, well, maybe it deals with back when like we actually have some sort of memory of us being born. That's why there's the bright light. There's all these people standing around me. Perhaps they're nurses, and like my brain's trying to piece it together. So it's interesting and weird.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I love it because like I just love the phenomenon of itself, whether it's like real or fake. I think a lot of it's fake. I think there's like the second someone tells you they have an alien abduction story and then they have a book that they want to sell you, they're fucking lying to you.
Oh, yeah.
They are totally fucking lying to you. Especially if they say, I have this video of an alien looking at me through my window, but I'm going to need $70,000 and another $3,000 for my lawyer. Stan Romanek! Stan Romanek! Oh, man.
But yeah,
I don't know
like
who that is.
the
Yeah.
whole
He's
the
a
whole
pedophile.
alien
He's a
abduction
fucking
thing,
pedophile.
the whole alien abduction thing, that's kind of like a newer phenomenon, like the last century or so.
It's newer in the sense like it's
Not if you watch the History Channel.
yeah. It's new.
fuck.
It's newer in the sense of like it started like really started in the 50s, but like there's always been cases of like people saying like, oh, angels came down to my room or like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
goblins. So there's a lot of stuff that I think.
I did nothing in anyone's house.
So there's a lot of stuff that I think does deal with culture and how you see things.
Yeah.
But like, there are some cases where people, and even like Penn and Teller brought this up on Bullshit, and I was like, no, you're kind of wrong on this. They were like, oh, like Betty and Barney Hill, like one of the first ever adoption cases. They saw this alien, and oh, isn't it ironic? It looks exactly like this alien. And they showed a clip from the movie Fire in the Sky, which was from the 90s, and their abduction case was from like 1961. So you have this giant gap of time where it's like that doesn't make any sense. Like what they described abducted them. Was like the first ever like instance of what we now know what a gray alien looks like, or what we think it looks like, or whatever. Like the fucking gray alien with the big black eyes and all that shit.
Right.
So like it's weird. There are definitely times where I think like culture definitely mixes in, but then there's other weird cases where it's like if it's not any of this, then they have to be lying.
Right. And that brings us into our topic, like our main topic for this week, which is
40
urban
minutes.
legends. Well, we're going to be going over because there's a lot of stuff, cerebral palsy related that we're going to have to cut.
Oh, weird.
So, like,
Yeah, Zach just started
I've looked-
shaking. It was crazy.
I've looked up a lot of
I'm sorry.
different
I'm
stuff
sorry.
that
was
like
funny. Fuck
like you guys can spout off
I thought
some,
it
but
was
we can
funny.
just like start talking about these, for funsies. I was looking at like Maryland specific ones, and like the Jersey Devil, probably one of the Goat Man.
yeah.
Yeah, like we have our own version of that kind of with the Goat Man.
It's me. It's Brooks. It's me.
So Zach, you've heard of the Maryland Goat Man before,
Yeah,
right?
I just googled it.
Yeah.
I've heard of the Goat Man as well.
Actually, real quick before you get into Goatman, there's actually one close to my house, a little urban legend. You guys know?
Isn't that close to here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go there right now.
Yeah, we could. It's the furnace in Furnace Hills that collapsed not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know
Oh, I
what
know
I'm
what you're talking about.
The big furnace. There's actually this legend that some rich plantation owner around here back in the day, like took
Back in
people,
the
threw them in
racist
there,
day.
and burnt them alive, and now their spirits haunt the fucking furnace.
Yeah.
And once when I was in 6th grade, me and 2 of my other guy friends were trying to like screw with this chick friend we had, and we took her to the furnace.
We were trying to fuck her at
We were,
this haunted
no,
house.
god damn it! Why does it always turn into that?
Because we're assholes.
We climbed to the top of the furnace, which you're not supposed to do, and I don't know. I think we had like chalk or something stupid like that, and we drew a little pentagram. We started like chanting and being like, "Oh, Satan!" And she like flipped shit. She was like 5 years older than us. she was like late teens, hanging out with 6th graders who scared her to think maybe like there was something wrong with her, but
She grew up to be Jill Stein.
she freaked out and ran away.
Which doesn't make any
Oh,
sense
laughing.
because Jill Stein's like in her 60s. You know who Jill Stein is?
No.
Actually, the more I think about it, it was a woman that was close to her 60s.
Was it really? Was it Jill
No.
Stein?
No, she was maybe like 4 or 5 years older.
Did she become the Green Party candidate? That's what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I fucking hate
All
everything
right.
about you.
So yeah, like
Talking about
like
goat people or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Maryland has its own like little thing called the Goat Man, which is sort of like a Jersey Devil type of situation.
Jersey Devil?
But basically, the
Devil in
story,
Jersey.
like
Yeah.
one of many stories about him
It's
is
like the
that
chupacabra,
he
but
like
Jersey.
resides in like the southern part of Maryland, and the one of the stories specifically here is that like there was a woman who was driving in the middle of winter and it was like snowing and a car crashed.
It's in the
When
middle of
she-
winter. It's not a spooky story.
It can be spooky if it's snow. I've
Eh.
seen the thing.
And like she
I haven't.
gets out of her car and she is in the middle just in the middle of nowhere by this bridge, and she's gonna like try to go for help when like she gets dragged off by the Goat Man supposedly, and like a lot of stuff like that. Yeah. Why do you think like Goat Man is a very specific thing?
Yeah, I don't think there's any. I've never seen a goat in Maryland. I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe like sheep.
No, I've seen goats in Maryland. There's goats at the end of my street. You've been there. There's a farm.
Oh, yeah.
Not the other one.
No,
there's,
no.
there's literally 2 farms at the end of my street.
Yeah.
They've got goats.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It probably deals with
Spivey
like
has goats
Does he? I
think
thought he
so.
just had like ducks and 3,000 cats.
and horses.
And a lot
There
of
was
dogs.
horses there.
Apparently.
What the fuck?
But no, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it probably
it's crazy.
It probably comes from like I don't know, like a rural thing, you know.
Also, like the way it's described, it's pretty much like verbatim the like Greek mythology thing with like the half goat guy that you see in like fucking Narnia.
Well,
Exactly
when did Goatman start becoming a thing?
I think Goat Man started becoming a thing
Okay.
like pretty much like
I'm actually
the
surprised he doesn't know what that
1900s.
is.
Okay.
And everything.
Is-
so-
what's the original story? Because like most of these, there's always like it's like Greek mythology.
There
There's
was
like a lesson to be learned. It's like
There was
oh,
a
if
goat
you leave-
man with a
if
little
you leave
flute
your-
that would walk around
if
playing
you leave
tricks
your
on
mi-
people.
If you leave your milk out too long, the goat man will get you. And like the whole thing's like, oh, don't waste food.
But like a lot of
Leave the milk out too long. The
Fucking know.
goat.
It's
Yeah.
always some dumb bullshit.
No, I'm gonna tell that to my kids.
Okay. So
Son, you leave the milk out too long, the goat man's gonna
So-
get you.
Right? You
So
shut up as
after-
a
after
goat, you
doing
fuck a bunch of shit up in that
after doing extensive research, which is just me Googling it right now and now reading the Wikipedia page, like according to
pretty
urban
sensible.
legend, the Goat Man is an axe-wielding half-animal, half-man
Oh,
creature
shit.
that was once a scientist who worked in Beltsville Agricultural Research Center.
That's not.
The
okay.
tale holds that it first reported in the 1950s. The tale holds that he was
Oh,
experimenting on goats until one experiment backfired, and he was mutated, becoming goat-like himself.
Of course.
He then began attacking cars with an axe, roaming the back roads with Beltsville, Maryland. A variation of the legend tells that the Goat Man is an old hermit who lives in the woods, seen walking alone at night along Fletchertown Road. So there's some variations to it.
You guys want to go to Fletchertown Road and see if a
Dude.
psychopath runs at our car
So-
with bags?
So their thing is like, oh, he was a scientist and he had a crazy
He
accent.
has an Irish accent.
I wonder what movies were coming out where the exact same
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
thing happened.
It's that's the thing about urban legends.
I don't
is
know.
I don't know either.
Whenever
Yeah.
they come out, although there's like going away from the Goat Man, I was just looking up random urban legends. This one, I don't know what the fuck like inspired it, but it's called the clown statue.
The clown.
Have you guys heard of the clown statue?
I have
That's
not.
already terrifying to look at.
Oh yeah.
Don't
it's,
show me, I'll poop. I pooped.
Oh, that looks
Uh,
like the clown from Twilight Zone.
I think
Probably
I
is.
think it is because that was just like a stock image.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I was reading a bit about this before, but what the deal is supposedly, like, it doesn't say when, like, this came about, but basically this teenage girl, she's babysitting for a family, and
Always happens when it's not a lot of witnesses. It's always just
yeah,
like,
so
the
they
one person
so
alone.
she goes to their house, and the parents are leaving. And they're just like, okay, thank you, take care of the kids, and they leave, and she goes in, and like she walks inside to where the kids are. They were playing in the living room, and like she looks over, and there's just this really creepy ass clown statue, just like in the corner, like staring at them.
How
And
big is it? Like a life?
It's like
size?
it's like half of like life size.
Oh, it's like one of those miniature doll ones.
Like not so like
Not
it's like
Chucky
bigger.
size.
It's like 3 feet or something.
Oh,
like that.
It's like a large garden gnome.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
my grandparents had like a doll that was like that size. which
Like,
was very
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
she was just like, that's fucking creepy. So the night's going on, and like every time she comes in the room, the clown statue is just staring at her, and like staring at the kids and everything. And like she's talking to the kids about it. She's like, "Why did you guys get that clown statue?" And she's just like, "Oh, we don't like it. It just stares at us while we sleep." And she's like, "Oh, that's fucking creepy." So she calls up the dad while the mom and dad are out.
I know this
and
story.
it's been passed around a lot. And she calls up the dad. She's like, "Hey, is it cool if like the kids seem to be freaked out by that clown statue you guys have in the living room? Is it cool if like I maybe like put it in like the closet or something or move it?" And the dad like is silent at first. Then he's just like, "Get the kids, go to the neighbor's house, call 911.
Oh.
We don't own a clown statue."
Oh, that's
And
fucking awesome,
it was
dude.
so they leave, and the cops come, and they basically like find out that the clown was a little person who had been living in the house secretly and like sneaking into the kids' rooms while they slept and watching them.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
it was in the living room with the kids, and it didn't know the babysitter was going to be there,
Yeah.
so it couldn't hide, and it just froze in the corner, and it just like waited for them to leave.
There's a story.
Is that a real?
Actually, the story I heard
Did
was
you hear like a variation?
where she calls up the dad and he's like, "Get the kids, go next door, call 911 immediately," and the cops got there and the statue was still there, and they found out the dad had Alzheimer's.
Really?
That's slightly even more sadder.
Yeah, that's just kind of sad.
It's like, oh, it's gonna be a crazy clown. Oh.
No, he just forgot he had a clown statue. That one's probably just a joke variation.
Yeah.
But this is a very true story from Indiana. It's one of my favorites. It's like a true crime story. It's just about the horrors of humanity and just like how they're just disgusting. It's awful.
All right.
Anyway.
I like how you like looked up the thing. Zach and Josh, why don't you guys like look up some stuff
I
and see?
have a book at home that I finished reading called True Crimes of Maryland. I remember one of them which is one of my favorites. I can just recite from memory.
Okay, Liam, what's your?
Well, I'm not going to read all of it because it's like a freaking essay and a half. It's just really long, but it's a really interesting story, and I want you guys all to at one point read it. It's the murder of, I don't know how to say this, Shonda Renee Shearer, in January 11th, 1992. She was an American girl who was tortured and burned to death in Madison, Indiana, by 4 teenage girls. She was 12 years old at the time of her death. The incident attracted... the other girls that did it were, I think, 2 15-year-olds, a 17-year-old, and an 18-year-old. It was all based off of a love interest.
What the fuck?
Shanda just moved there, and she was talking to a girl that the 18-year-old recently broke up with.
Mhm.
And they were just friends, and she was like some weird chick, and it just got out of hand. So one day the 18-year-old and her friends abduct this 12-year-old girl, saying that the girl that she was talking to wants to see her. So they take her to a abandoned house, torture the shit out of her to the point where she can't even like talk.
So wait, why did they do this?
Because they're fucking fucked up. Because she was talking to one of the other girls' ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
And she was 12.
Oh, okay.
But it just gets really disgusting, and then they if I'm not mistaken, this is just off of memory, they beat her to the point where she like can't talk. Then they throw her in the trunk of her car. Then they no. In the torture, they beat her to death, and during the torture, they burn her alive, and then they throw her in the trunk of the car as if to like get ready to bury her. But they stop at like a gas station or something, or like a McDonald's, something stupid, and they all act like nothing happened. And they hear her in the trunk.
Oh.
And they pop the trunk. She's still fucking alive. Like, she doesn't know where she is, and she's just moaning, and like her, I guess, brain just not working because she's just beaten and burnt alive. So they throw her on the side of the road and do it fucking again.
Oh my god.
What the fuck, dude?
That's not a fun urban legend. That's just a sad thing.
It's not an urban
just like
legend. It just happened. It was
It's not a really
horrible.
It's a
Like,
horrible murder story.
if you're into the true crime stuff and scary like real life shit, like that's
mine's a true story.
Okay.
Is
But-
it just as uplifting?
No.
Okay, so I'll try to.
It's slightly worse.
Let's try to pace out the like.
All right, so
horrifying
let's
true
say an
story stuff.
urban legend that's fun and like.
I have this one.
Mine's just
I
a
have,
murder
we're gonna be
story.
going over a bit more. 'Cause,
Yeah.
We'll probably go to like an hour and a half. But here's one that's here's one that's obviously
Your guys'
fake. You've
rant.
probably heard it before, but it's like a fun one. I've seen it on a few of the like different like sites where I've been looking this up. I won't say the name because that spoils the ending. But basically, this girl, it's usually a girl.
It's Nick Cage.
How did you know?
So Nick Cage is at home, and she is it's a teenage girl named Nick Cage, and she's
Oh yeah.
she wanted for years is to have her own
take
dog.
his face off.
I want to take the face off. That's a fucking urban legend if I've ever heard of one.
So Nick Cage wanted a dog.
So she wanted a dog more than anything else, and eventually her parents were just like, "Okay, we're gonna get you a dog." So they got her this dog, and she loved it, and she's just like, "Okay, cool." And it's like, and the parents are just like, "Don't worry, like if we ever go out, you know, the dog's gonna protect you. Like it's gonna protect you from like when you're staying home."
I know exactly.
You know, yeah.
What story
It's passed around a bunch.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, it's a fun one. So like she's at home and like she's hanging out with the dog, and the dog likes licking her hand, so she puts her hand off of like the chair. Yeah, so she's like. So the dog licks the hand and everything, and he just likes doing that. So like her parents are out, like they're on a trip or something, so she's home alone with the dog. And she goes to bed, and like she just like puts the hand over, and then like the dog's looking, and she's like, "Oh man, I'm trying to go to sleep." And then she hears like a dripping sound. She doesn't know where it's coming from. She's like, "Oh, it's probably the sink downstairs."
The dog peed on her hand.
So so she goes downstairs and she like makes sure the sink is off and like it's not dripping, and then she goes back back to her bed, and like the dog keeps licking the hand, and she's like, "Oh." And then she keeps hearing the dripping sound. So she checks the bathroom sink, and nothing there. And she goes back to bed, and the dog keeps licking her hand. And she's like, "Man, what is this dripping sound?" And then she thinks she can hear it coming from the closet. So she goes over the closet in her room. She opens the door. The dog is hanging there. Its throat's been cut, and the blood has been dripping. And on a note, it says, "Humans can lick too." Yeah.
Gross.
And
You
that's
never
the
heard that
end of the story. Yeah,
Never
that's
heard that one.
Yeah, that's
I've been to
like,
3 different like. There was the summer camp I went to, Sunshine Kids Club.
Yeah,
they
like,
would
it's a
tell
common
that
one.
all the.
That's like
fucking
one of the
time.
most well-known urban
Yeah.
legends ever. I'm like, oh, that's like
And I would even hear it outside, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
that's
What the
like
poor
that.
puppy?
That's like the like.
What
like
kind
a-
of dog was it?
a
It was a
very-
Labrador.
Oh, if it was like a rat.
I have
dog.
no
I don't give a
idea
shit
what
about the
dog
girl, but the poor puppy.
Yeah, it's like that perfect mix of like weird, like
Yeah.
and like kind of like.
I just imagine like she's sleeping and some dude like slides out from under the bed, just
Nicolas
slides
Cage.
back.
Yeah, that was Nick
Fucking
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
All right, so
Okay,
The
now
note
for,
actually just says
now for a
to-
horrifying true crime thing.
okay.
After that,
No, just shut up. Did you hear what Zach
He's like,
said?
the note actually said, I could eat a peach for hours.
oh my god, that's great.
That's the new variation of that story. I'm gonna tell that to Bradley and see what he does.
Oh god.
Could eat a peach for hours.
So mine's just another horrifying story. Does anybody know who David Allen Bishop is?
I know
Probably.
David Hasselhoff.
That's not the same.
Well, now it is.
Anyway, so David Hasselhoff. No, it's a story from the 70s. This guy, he worked for something in the government in Bethesda, if anyone's ever been to Bethesda.
Yeah, I work there sometimes.
Do you?
Are you lying to me?
No.
What do you do?
There's a theater nearby there that I work at every once in a while.
Wait a minute. These glasses come right off. You're David Allen Bishop!
I pooped.
No, so anyways,
Classic
he,
David.
he
No.
works he works for something in the government. He like, I don't know, it was like CIA or something. But like, it wasn't like he was a spy or anything. It was like he was a pencil pusher. Like, he did nothing interesting. This guy was a fucking, like, insane man. Like, literally, he like always had anger problems and a bunch of shit. So he'd been working hard to get this fucking promotion, didn't get the promotion, fucking lost it, went home to his wife and his kids, took a ball-peen hammer, fucking bashed their brains in
Okay.
all over the place, killed his wife, killed his kids, fucking then bounced, and then what is it?
I'm thinking of the State versus Denver Penn now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll kill your family. I'm gonna bash their heads in.
Is this a murder? Yeah, so he
Basically.
murders them, and for years, like, he's been on the run. And there's like all these other stories of like him, like, oh, he was here in like Mexico, or no, he was here in Montana. Like, I totally just saw him. But what they found recently, like, Joe Walsh has this show called Joe Walsh The Hunt, and he looks up all these fucking like murderers and shit. They found his journal at a yard sale, and it like describes like all of his like horrible like dreams and things, and like they discovered like he's been like planning to kill his family for months.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
That's
he's still
crazy.
out there. There's like a picture of what he would look like now, and he looks like an old Scrooge McDuck.
Neat.
So he's out there. He's old now. And the reason why I liked his story, because his story inspired me to write contracts.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
So, one man calls another man.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
We'll act that out.
He calls him on the phone and he says, "Is your refrigerator running?"
Is your refrigerator?
And, shut up. And the other guy's like, all right, this is just a prank call. You're an asshole. Yes, my refrigerator's running. And then the other goes, mine too. See you at the races. And hangs up.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. I like that a lot. Now, let's get in some really freaky deaky shit. Josh, you may have heard of this. It's called.
Because I'm a freak.
There's this thing called it's Russian, so like I'll probably mispronounce it, but the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Yeah!
Have you heard of that?
I know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
I want to make a movie about it.
Okay.
But like the forest in Japan and the caverns in France, someone made a movie about it, and it was horrible.
Well, then just make a different movie
I
about
just
it.
want my movie first. Anyways,
There
go
have
ahead.
already been like 5 Suicide Forest movies.
Whatever. Just tell your fucking story.
Okay.
That's gonna get a
So
movie.
this is something I heard of a while
Firewatch
back.
is gonna get a movie. It was a nice little indie thing that was just
Oh, I heard about that.
yeah, looking forward to it. It was a great game, great story. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Go ahead.
Nice.
I'm not talking.
Anyway.
He's talking.
Oh.
So-
Go ahead.
Okay.
So back in January and February of 1959, this group of of 9 different people were going into the Ural Mountains in Russia, and they were later found dead. 6 victims. It says
End of the
Classic
story.
Russia.
it says right here, determined that 6 victims died from hypothermia, but others showed signs of physical trauma. 1 victim had a fractured skull, while another had brain damage, but without any sign of distress to their skull. Additionally, a female team member had her tongue missing. The investigation concluded
Classic
that an
Russia.
unknown compelling force had caused the deaths. And there's a lot of other stuff about there was weird like things found at the scene
Yeah.
and
Like-
everything, and that's like, hang
like
on.
borscht.
One of them they found like they had a Geiger counter and there was like radiation.
Yeah, there was like a large amount of radiation in the area when before
Solves
there
it all.
was.
Godzilla.
Tongues fall out and radiation.
But what caused the radiation?
The tongue falling out.
Okay. Hey, I'm looking at
Science.
Okay,
Sorry.
so here's a few things. The ski hiker's tent was shredded up. They were the tents were destroyed. The skiers were scattered around the grounds, wearing either very sparse clothing or just their underwear. Yeah, we talked about the fractured skulls, no visible defense marks or other signs of a struggle, and there were levels of radiation and all that weird ass shit. So.
There's been like some like I mean people were like, oh, it was aliens or it was the government or it was a ghost.
Oh yeah, and there was often a mysterious orange tan on some of the bodies that no one could
One of
really
the guys
explain.
and the
It was Trump the whole time.
He's the Zodiac.
That's why he owes Russia. That's why he's buddying up to Vladimir Putin. I just solved it.
You should run for president.
I should run for president.
There's
that's your irritable bowel
did you read the
syndrome.
part where like what was weird is
Better
like,
than
their
like the
tents
rape that
were like
Trump's
ripped
done.
open from
That's
the
true.
inside, so someone
What
was
about
like
the
trying
rape
to
you-
I
get
did
out.
not read
These are the
that.
hard
There's one,
facts.
and then one of the
that
guys
was
was
a
like,
question.
found completely naked, and they followed his tracks like in the
What?
snow.
Yeah, that's fucking.
So-
That's free. I like stuff like that is incredibly morbid, but I like stuff like that because it's
Yeah.
legitimately like freaky.
Yeah.
Like stuff that's like like I like. That's why I like urban legends and stuff like that. Like there's goofy ones, but like stuff like this where it's like just these like strange incidents and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, that
yeah.
stuff. Like I.
Because it leaves you to wonder
But
like,
also-
what the fuck happened.
but
They're
also-
good enough.
It's a
and
mixture
also-
between mystery
also-
and
yeah,
horror.
and they still have that
Ambiguity?
Yeah. Sorry,
I
I'm
think
very
that
drunk.
I think that may be what like I like about like
You guys know
It's
the
ambiguous.
splicers
It's
from
ambiguous.
Bioshock?
yeah the ambiguous like mystery like stuff.
You want to see a real life one?
Of real
what?
Big Daddy.
Oh no.
Oh
Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
That is a splicer from Bioshock.
Oh shit, that totally is. Is that like makeup or is there something?
No, that's real. That's that.
Oh,
I was
great.
on Reddit
just
and it was like-
insulted someone with a problem.
No, I was on Reddit and they were like, I was looking at the person was apparently looking at news online for their town, and apparently like a town over, this guy was arrested for murder.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't feel too bad.
So he probably is like a splicer, and
Yeah,
he
he
just like
probably
murdered someone because
Injecting
he.
shit into
I
his
still
veins.
haven't played Bioshock Infinite.
It's great.
It's good. It's good.
really
It's
good.
good. It's a good game. Liam, you said you had some like two sentence horror stories.
Did I?
I love those,
Yeah.
and
All right,
I'd
hold
like
on,
you to read
internet.
some of them to keep the
I only know
scary
the
train
sad
rolling.
ones.
Oh, let me find some stuff on
Just
the
like
internet real
everything,
quick.
right?
Yeah, just like.
But while we're waiting, I have some remembered. I was really high. Taco Bell was closed.
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's my bongos. For this spoken word.
She crawled in the bed because
Yeah.
she couldn't sleep. I woke up clutching the dress she was buried in. There's another one.
Oh.
It's not two words.
Yeah, they
It's
call them
not-
two sentences, but like half of them are a half a paragraph.
Yeah.
But I guess a half a paragraph.
I don't know.
goes with
I'm
it.
thinking of 6 words short story.
Going on 9 gag
Wait, what?
for these.
No, because there was one that was like for sale, baby shoes never worn.
Oh yeah, that's a
I'm
great
like,
one.
Oh Jesus.
I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up.
No, it's
Wake me up anytime.
That one's stupid.
These are fun.
I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again.
Oh. This is a reflection trying to get out. They're trying to say, go run for president, Mr. Trump.
Oh, what was another one? The last man alive was enjoying some tea. He heard a knock at the door.
Oh yeah, there was a.
Something like that.
I tried for the longest time. I had an idea of a play for that.
Really?
Yeah, it would be like this whole like one act sort of thing, and there'd just be one guy. He's the last guy on Earth, and instead of like someone knocking at the door, he's like been working for like hours, like just for fun, trying to reconstruct this telephone to see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then like after he's done, he realizes like, man, I'm really lonely. And then the phone rings, and he's like, oh my fucking god.
That's definitely
great.
something. I've definitely
That's-
seen that somewhere.
Have you? Fuck. Then I
That's
feel like an
fucking great.
idiot.
But you should write that anyway.
No, I already have it written down.
Oh, you have it written down?
Yeah.
I want to read it.
She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't.
There's something.
All I have written down is exactly what I told you.
Creepy.
There's nothing like the laughter of a baby unless it's 1 a.m. and you live alone. That's pretty funny. I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face until one day when I realized that she was always looking just behind me.
Oh, shit.
I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me.
Oh, that's
I saw that on Modern Family last night, actually. Have any of you seen that show?
I've seen bits of it. I've never like watched it.
I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The two gay guys.
I love the dad from who used to be on.
Yes.
Family, Married with Children.
Yeah, I
Fucking loved Married with Children.
That show was so funny.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
so brutal.
it was really funny because the two gay guys were sleeping and they heard the baby monitor. She was crying, and then they heard a guy comforting their baby. So one of the guys wakes up and he's like, "Cam, wake up! There's somebody in the room with our baby. Wake up!" And this guy that's usually like super flamboyant, like super gay, goes, "It's go time," grabs a bat and runs into the room. No one's in there, and they were like picking up the monitor from like a few houses over or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like it was just funny watching this super flamboyant guy be like, "I'm gonna fuck some shit up today, bro."
But like going off some of that other stuff and like the thing like you talked about with the play with the like the one man thing,
Yeah.
I feel like there's something like both interesting and scary about there being a person there when you're not expecting there to be a person.
Yeah.
Like I imagine when we were talking about doing like an anthology thing, like one of the ideas I had was a guy is living alone and he's just like watching TV and then he goes like upstairs to his bedroom and like he tries to open the door but it's locked and then so he's like trying to force it a little and then on the other side it's like his voice saying, he's like, "I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna call the cops if you keep doing that." And it's like a conversation, like you don't see like who's on the other side of the door, but it's a conversation between like the guy and supposedly himself on the other side of the door, and they're both freaked the fuck out.
You know what we could do?
Yeah.
If we take those sort of like small, very short stories, like the phone one I said, and Zach's bar one. If we take all those, we film those like in a month, we could release the first episode of the anthology thing.
That does work, yeah.
And it'd be a lot easier because his thing is one location and my thing is one location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like to make things easy for myself.
Yeah.
Here's
Not a whole lot of
Which is
hard work
why-
on the Zach front.
Which is why I tried to be white, and there we go.
Oh.
Here's the
Bum bum bum.
This is my best survey, and I really have to pee. I really do have to pee. And Matt wants to get food.
I zoned out and I don't understand what just happened.
Did you ever see Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh yeah.
That's a theme. We do that because we're sad.
Okay, yeah. I think it's about time that we wrap it up. Yeah.
Sweet.
Like, we had some nice scary stuff. We talked about Halloween and then like urban legends.
One final spooky story.
One final spooky story.
I opened my bank account and I only have $9.
We have what?
$9.
Oh shit. Wait, didn't
There's
you
a
just
classic
get paid?
one that like you
Is
see.
this your like real life that you just said?
There's a classic
feel.
one that you see like
I know.
everywhere. Like that's like another 2-sentence horror story, and it's just like I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters."
I love that one.
Like under my bed. I look underneath for his amusement and see another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed."
That's awesome.
That's like, yeah.
When
Like,
you- that's
Haha, shoot them both.
well, I want an abortion anyway.
That's not what the mom says. She comes in to see both dead kids,
And a dead dad. 2 dead dads.
and then he realizes that they were
oh, okay.
twins.
This is another good one.
And then she realized she was a dead dad the
okay.
entire time.
Okay. Real quick, and then we'll wrap up. It's like
Alright.
the doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though, when he felt cold fingers brush across his phantom hand.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, that's
Is that God?
It's because his arm's dead and it's touching other dead people.
Oh shit!
I'd be
It's
like, I want
tricking
this
off
arm.
ghosts in the backside.
But nobody told him about the phantom wiener he would feel in his hand.
He wakes up the next morning, he's got like ectoplasm on his face. He's like, oh jeez.
People always thought this was ectoplasm.
So salty.
I know it is.
The grinning face stared at me from the darkness beyond my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor.
That just seems like a problem for the guy outside the window.
I don't. If he got up,
Do
like,
you need help?
he's like on a trampoline, and this is just like a brief moment, and he's like right before he realizes that someone has moved the trampoline. Yeah.
Or just some guy just hanging his.
Then he pulls
Help!
up the sign, says yikes, and then like
Yeah.
falls to his
And then he dies, and it's like extremely graphic and realistic.
And it was Wile E. Coyote the whole time.
Or here's a 1 cent one. I just saw my reflection blink.
I just like to think of the people in these situations just.
People who are tripping face.
Fuck.
It's just like,
Like, I just read this one.
And your reflection isn't doing any of that. He just like crosses his arms and just stares at you while you're like,
yeah, no. It's
I just read
you're
this
doing,
one
dumb stuff
not
in
too
front
long
of me,
ago.
like, yeah, yeah.
Zach! And it said, I looked at the. No, my glasses. It said, I looked at the clock and it said 12:07 as she muffled my mouth and pushed her claws into my chest. And then I jolted up from the dream, looked at the clock, it said 12:06, and my closet door began creaking open.
Oh shit! I remember that one. Oh god.
Like, if you were the dude in that situation, you would just hop out of bed and be like, fuck the fuck, no, 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 no,
I go
I'm
out
out,
the
no,
window.
no.
I don't even care.
mine would be like,
Please.
just get laid.
Am I getting hit?
Is this what sex is? Yeah?
I can
No,
do
no.
that. I could do that. Oh, I don't like it.
Ow, 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 ow.
I still can't.
Day
I'm about to pre-
312. Internet's still not working.
Oh God,
And
no!
on that, we'll end this episode. And like the first episode of our Halloween month. Ooh.
God,
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to what next week will happen. Looking at you, Liam.
Spoilers.
No.
Ow.
Okay, let's do the plugs and the sign off.
Alright.
All right. So, if you want to listen to the podcast a bit more, you can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes. Maybe give us a follow, a like, give us a review on iTunes, rate it. Helps out the show. You can also find the episodes. They're uploaded a day after on YouTube, on the YouTube channel.
So just
along
watch the highlights and you'll pretty much get to the
Yeah,
gist
what
of it.
you can check out the highlights and other
That's all you need
videos
to
that
look
we
at.
make on the YouTube
Which are
channel.
very well animated.
Oh, thank you.
Did you do that on Final Cut?
Yeah, I did.
Did you keyframing or was it? Just
It was a lot of keyframing.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was very good.
Oh, thank you. And you can see all that stuff on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and just make sure to share around the show. Like if you like the show, share it around. Help the show grow. That's our motto. Other than you clearly don't care, so why should we?
Yeah. Trademarked by Josh Eskich.
Yeah. So if you want to check us out on Twitter, the Twitter for the show is @100YearsPod. The personal Twitters, mine is @SqueezyMcCheesy. Zach's is @BraveSnuggles. Josh's is @BarrettFilms. Liam still doesn't have one, so you
Dude,
can
don't-
just friend
don't
Liam
ever
on
get one.
Facebook. Just find him on Facebook or something. I don't know.
Don't ever get one, Liam. You're so dumb.
I got an Instagram.
Woo, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't even have a Pinterest, do you?
Do you have a Pinterest?
Yeah, Brave
That was a really old joke at the beginning of
I
the
still
thing.
have it though.
Yeah.
I've never used Pinterest.
Neither have I.
Oh, okay.
So
Now I get the joke.
No,
It-
but I still have it.
if there's a creepy story you like that you want to share with us,
Don't.
just Liam, audience participation.
When have they ever done it?
Baby.
Audience
Shh, baby.
participation.
Shh, baby. We have to encourage it. We don't encourage it, which is why it hasn't happened.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's the problem.
Anyway.
I mean, technically there was. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had too much is what happened.
We got a regular out of audience participation.
No, that's what happened with me. I listened to the podcast before, and then you're like, we'll keep you on.
Yeah, that's how we get our regulars. It's the only people who interact with us, they come on the show and never leave.
I just listen to the show as I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
Does that count?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Well, you don't get to enjoy the effects. Ooh, the magic.
No, I
Anyway,
do.
if you want to send us a message, our email is brooksandzach100years@gmail.com. So plugs-wise, I think that's it. So Zach, if you want to do the same sign-off you always do.
Same sign off as always. It's always the same sign off. As you stare into the fire, you accept the embracement of silence. And then you say Brooks and Zach 100 years. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Another horror story is My Will to Live.
See ya.